Here's a quick test. Grab your favorite white blouse, hold it under your chin in natural light, and really look. Do you notice how the brightness makes every little shadow stand out, almost as if your face is more tired than you feel? That moment really shook me. We get so used to trusting our favorite colors, black for looking sharp, white for feeling fresh. But then one day, my daughter snapped a photo of me at a family picnic, and I couldn't believe it. Same white blouse I'd worn for years, and yet, instead of fresh, I looked, well, just worn out, even though I felt perfectly fine. If you've ever wondered why those safe colors start to feel a little unforgiving, let me tell you, you are definitely not the only one. Turns out, after 60, our skin and hair change just enough that some shades lose their magic. I wish someone had told me sooner. Honestly, it would have saved me a lot of time second-guessing myself in the mirror. But here's the fun part. There's a super simple trick you can try at home that shows right away which colors bring out the best in you. It's nothing fancy, just a little experiment I picked up, one that made me see myself in a completely new way. And a bit later, I'll walk you through it, step by step. It's almost like meeting your reflection for the first time in years and liking what you see. So, have you noticed your old favorite color just isn't doing you any favors these days? If you have, stick with me. Let's start with a shade of blue that seems to light up every face it touches. Let's talk about blues for a second. Now, I've always loved blue. So many women do. But if you've ever tried on a pale blue top lately and thought, why does this look a little dull on me? You're not alone. I had a drawer full of those washed-out shirts, and every time I wore one, my silver hair and skin seemed to fade right along with it. On the other hand, those deep jewel-tone blues felt a little too bold, almost like they were wearing me instead of the other way around. And then, almost by accident, I stumbled onto Periwinkle. Oh, that shade. Somewhere between blue and lavender, gentle but not flat, not too icy or loud. I still remember the first time I pulled a periwinkle scarf around my neck before heading out to meet a friend for coffee. There was nothing fancy about it, but I caught sight of myself in the car mirror, and my skin looked brighter. My eyes seemed, well, more awake. No extra makeup, no tricks. The best part? I started getting those little comments. You look so refreshed, the kind that make you smile because you know you didn't do anything special. It's such a simple change, but periwinkle has a way of lifting the whole face, especially if your hair has a bit of silver or ash in it. Even if you just try a scarf or a simple t-shirt in this shade, see how the light bounces back. It almost looks expensive, even if you picked it up on sale. I've heard from so many other women who say the same thing, that this one tweak gets them more compliments than a brand new haircut. Now, I know pink can feel like tricky territory after a certain age, sometimes too sweet, sometimes a little too young. But is there a pink out there that actually brings back your natural glow? Let's see if we can find it. Let's be honest, pink can feel like a gamble once you reach a certain age. I used to avoid it altogether. Pastel pink made me look washed out, almost like I'd borrowed something from a nursery. And those bright, punchy pinks? Lovely on the hanger, but on me, well, I'd catch my reflection and think, that's a bit much, isn't it? So for a while, I just gave up on pink. But then I stumbled across dusty rose. It's not bubblegum or flamingo, nothing flashy about it. Picture the color of old roses pressed in a favorite book, or the inside of a seashell. Soft, a little muted, with a quiet warmth. The first time I wore a blouse in this shade, it didn't feel childish at all. In fact, my cheeks looked rosier, and the lines on my face seemed softer. It's the kind of color that brings back that gentle flush, the one we sometimes miss seeing when we look in the mirror. I've since added dusty rose in little ways, lipstick, a lightweight scarf, even just a pair of earrings. And every time, it gives my skin this calm, healthy glow. And if you wear silver jewelry, something about the mix just works, doesn't it? It doesn't shout for attention, but people notice you look, well, simply brighter. Here's the fun part. There's actually a little color test you can do at home. Try holding a piece of dusty rose fabric near your face in natural light, then compare it to your usual go-to shade. 9 times out of 10, you'll see your face come alive in a way your old favorites just can't match. Would you ever try dusty rose, or do you still stick with the classics? But let's say you want something a little more dramatic, a little more grown up. There's a red for that too. They always say red is the color of confidence, don't they? For years I believed it too. I had a favorite cherry red sweater that I wore whenever I needed an instant boost. But one day, standing in front of the mirror, I realized that same sweater wasn't giving me power anymore. It was stealing the spotlight, making me look sharper in all the wrong ways, like every tiny line and shadow had its own stage light. Then came Burgundy. Not loud, not brash, more like a fine glass of wine that lingers and deepens with time. When I wore it to dinner one evening, something shifted. My skin looked calmer, yes, but more than that, I felt taller, more grounded, as if the color gave me permission to take up space. Burgundy didn't just soften me, it made me feel quietly powerful, the kind of presence that doesn't need to raise its voice. It's almost as if Burgundy brings out a quiet strength. I didn't feel like I was trying too hard, or dressing up for someone else. Just put together, elegant, a touch mysterious. I've even worn it on a quick video call, and people commented on how healthy I looked, without knowing I'd changed a thing besides my shirt. There's something timeless about Burgundy, too. I remember seeing women like Jane Fonda on the red carpet in deep reds. Never garish, always graceful. It works for dinners, celebrations, even just a trip to the grocery store when you want to feel a bit more you. It's funny. Sometimes the grown-up version of a color is even more flattering than the one we used to wear in our 20s. But here's the thing. There's one simple trick that can truly make your whole face glow in photos. And it's not what you might think. Shall we talk about it? Here's something nobody warned me about. White isn't always our friend. For decades, I thought white was the ultimate clean slate color. Crisp, bright, makes everything look fresh. And it did, for a while. But somewhere along the journey, pure white started making me look, well, almost invisible. I'd put on a favorite blouse, step into the sunlight, and suddenly every little shadow and line seemed to jump out. It just felt unforgiving. One day, almost on a whim, I tried on an ivory sweater instead. The difference was immediate. My skin looked softer. The tiredness under my eyes seemed to fade. There was a warmth to my reflection that had been missing for ages. It's a tiny shift, just a notch away from white. But what a difference it makes. Ivory, or even a creamy shade, gives back what pure white takes away. It softens the whole face, and somehow, it just feels kinder. Here's something fun you can do right at home. No shopping required. Go to your closet, grab something in white and something in ivory or cream, and hold each one up under your chin in front of a window. Look at your face in the natural light. With white, you might notice every shadow, every line. With ivory, there's a gentler light, a bit of radiance. I was honestly amazed the first time I tried it. It was like seeing myself rested after a good night's sleep. I even heard from one woman who said switching to ivory for a family photo was the first time she ever felt truly comfortable in front of the camera. There's something powerful about seeing yourself, just as you are, but a little more luminous. Now, we've all heard the warnings about yellow. Don't even try it, they say. But what if I told you there's a shade out there that brightens every woman, and almost no one dares to wear it? Let's see what happens next. I used to swear I would never wear yellow. Absolutely never. It was the one color I thought belonged to daffodils and traffic signs. Not to me. I didn't even bother trying it on. Why set myself up for disappointment? I'd hold up those sunny school bus yellows and instantly put them back on the rack. And then, almost as a joke, I draped a golden honey scarf around my neck. I expected nothing, maybe even a laugh at my own reflection. But when I caught sight of myself in the mirror, I froze. My skin looked warmer, my eyes brighter. And for the first time in years, yellow wasn't mocking me, it was lifting me. The very color I'd avoided all my life had become the one that made me look most alive. Paired with my silver hair and a touch of gold jewelry, it just worked. Not loud, not flashy, just bright enough to feel current, even joyful. And it's not just me. I've noticed that whenever someone in our age group tries on golden honey, even just as a pair of earrings or a cardigan, people notice. There's a little spark, a hint of, "What's different about you?" in their voice. It's a color that draws the eye, but in a soft, flattering way. It doesn't wear you. It brings out your warmth, even if you haven't seen the sun in weeks. So if you've always written off yellow, maybe give golden honey a try. It's surprising how modern and vibrant it can make you feel. Even in photographs, it seems to bring everything into focus, not just your outfit, but your energy. And if you're curious how to pull all these colors together for a no-fuss, head-turning wardrobe, well, that's coming right up next. Isn't it amazing what a handful of colors can do? With just 5 shades, Periwinkle, Dusty Rose, Burgundy, Ivory, and Golden Honey, you can wake up your whole look. Not just brighter skin or softer features, but a kind of confidence that shines through, even before you say a word. I love that these colors aren't about chasing trends or hiding who we are. They're about feeling good every single day. Whether you're at brunch with friends, heading out for errands, or simply catching your reflection at home and smiling back at it. If you want to play around, here's a little tip. Mix 2 of these colors together. Ivory with Golden Honey feels warm and elegant. Periwinkle and Dusty Rose bring out a gentle vibrance that's so easy on the eyes. You might be surprised how effortlessly these shades blend, like old friends that bring out the best in each other. Now, I'd love to hear what you discover. Have you tried the mirror test? Did a new color make you feel unexpectedly wonderful? Share your experience. And if you know someone who could use a little boost, invite them to try it too. The truth is, style at 60 and beyond isn't about rules. It's about joy, self-expression, and stepping into the world with a little more lightness in your step. You're just getting started. And next time, if you're curious how to build an entire capsule wardrobe around these feel-good colors, especially for silver hair, stay tuned. There's so much more to explore together.